What is up, YouTube world? I'm Ashley D. Before I get started, won't you do your girl a favor? Hit that like and subscribe button. And also, if you feel like sharing, please feel free to share so we could bring awareness to these certain issues and situations that I'm going to speak on at hand. So today, I'm going to speak on something. And I want each and every one of you to take some time out to let this resonate with you, because this is a touchy topic to me on so many different other levels. And it should be to you as well. So we have Mr. and Mrs. LaTrue that have been constantly going at it online. Everyone picked a side immediately right away. And unfortunately, a lot of people picked the wrong side. When in reality, the truth is the truth. Sometimes the truth can be staring you right in your face, but you chose to go in a different direction based off of genders. So instead of us speaking on her and him today, we need to acknowledge the victims behind this whole chaos and this whole situation. I'm going to speak on Mr. Kevin Wesley. That's Mr. LaTrue's brother. I was his friend on Facebook, rightfully so, in his own rights, before all this happened. This man brought awareness to certain situations in our community. He spoke to not only just black men and women, all different kind of races, brought out certain issues that maybe a lot of people that didn't have a mother at home, a father at home, they might need advice from. They go online and he gives them advice like a big brother. Not to mention they ask questions under the comment. He reacted to plenty of videos, not from a biased point of view, but from an overall perspective. Not just picking a man's side, a woman's side. He's picking what's right side and what he felt like in his heart and what he believed in. This man, when this first happened with his brother and his sister-in-law, and I'm going to go out and say allegedly, everything I state is not a guaranteed fact. It's my own personal opinion and my own belief. Keyword, allegedly. Now let me continue. So, Mr. Kevin was going about his life like he normally did. He normally put his videos out and he would react to those videos giving advice. When this first happened, he stayed out of it. He stayed in the background. He didn't try to get recognition or credit off of this chaos, this situation. He knew how serious this was. Not to mention, this was his brother, who he grew up with, who he knows like the back of his hand. But he still stayed out of it and gave advice behind the scene. So as the situation intensified, people are coming on his page. The same people that were loving his advice, cheering him on. Now they're coming under his comments immediately, antagonizing his brother. Not to mention, they're starting to pull at him. What's your advice? What's your opinion? You're not going to speak on it? He ignored it. He ignored it. He ignored it. He went about with his usual content. Till finally, he said enough. Okay, I'll speak on it. I'm going to come from a no bias point of view. I'm going to do a video and I'm going to react to it. And that's what he did. He didn't take sides. When she was wrong, he called out that point. When his brother was wrong, he called out that point. To me, he came at it from a mutual ground. Everything he said was a fact to me as well. It wasn't taking any side. Everyone asked this man for his opinion. And then when he began to give his opinion, not only did the people that supported him, what do you have to say? Why should we believe you? You have 2 wives, this and that. Yes, he has 2 beautiful wives that respect and love him and treat him like a king. That has nothing to do with what his message and what he's teaching everyone. Now, his credibility is out of the door since someone wants to go around allegedly stating false accusations about his brother. Not only you guys want to crucify him, but now we're crucifying Mr. Kevin. How dare you? Like I said, open your mind to what I'm about to say and listen. So when he began to react to these videos, behind the scene, allegedly, Mrs. LaTruth reached out to him on numerous occasions. On one of those occasions and recorded phone calls that we all heard, what did she say? She wanted to get back with her husband. She wanted to make things right. She was crying. She was disheveled. And what did Mr. Kevin do? He gave her the best advice that any brother-in-law would give. At one point in time, he was like their therapist. They would come and meet with him. He would give his brother advice. He would tell his own brother where he was wrong at. He would tell the wife things that she needed to work on. Not to mention in her video, when she stated that her husband wanted her to love on him like she loved on his kids. If we're going to be real about the situation, that's how she lured him in. Allegedly, pretending to be that endearing, loving mother, nurturing person to Mr. LaTruth. And the second she got to where she needed, her bag was right, she flipped the switch. She turned off everything that drew him in. She took that away from him. So now he's begging, crying, and screaming out for more. So he's left with no choice but to file for a divorce. Now back at the situation at hand. So his brother earned his own name, not through his brother, by his own experiences in life and the things that he did and the content that he put out. I respected that and I believed in what he said. Because like I stated, again, it wasn't coming from a biased point of view. It was coming from an overall perspective. This man was put in a situation that he never asked to be in. He never asked to be doing a reaction video to any of this. He tried to avoid it for as long as he could. But you guys kept asking him for his opinion. Everyone don't fail to realize so many people's lives has been changed continuously to this day. This has been going on for months, a drag down. You guys have crucified this man, his brother, who has done nothing wrong to anyone, just on the strength of him being his brother. And what has he done? Continue to stay humble, continue to smile, continue to carry on with his day, continue to motivate, continue to encourage, uplift people. The same thing he's been doing. And the second he reacts, everyone says, mind your business. This has nothing to do with you. Didn't you ask him for his opinion? He was minding his business. But you guys wanted his brother to speak out. So he did. And what did he say? My brother that I know, he was not that kind of person. He wasn't a violent person that I was aware of. That doesn't seem like him. However, I don't know what went on or took place in their household. I just know my brother. That was the realest statement you can say. You never know what a person does behind closed doors. It was wrong for him to come in defense if it was the right thing and speak up. His truth that he knew of, that you guys asked him about, when he said his brother that he knew wasn't a violent person. Not to mention, he was doing therapy sessions with him. And he spoke out about a couple of things that took place. And not one time, allegedly, did Miss Lyona bring up that his brother was a physical person. She didn't even bring it up when she was in her videos going off. When she was in the car around her kids. The most she said at first in the beginning, that this man wanted love. Wanted her to love him like she loved her kids. Does that seem like a violent person to you? No. On top of that, like I've stated, the lives that have been changed behind these false accusations. This man can't go online under his videos that has nothing to do with this situation going forward without people commenting. Coming back to the videos 4 months later, commenting, antagonizing him. I liked a couple videos. I commented. Every time I go on Facebook, somebody is continuing to bash this man. Continuing to say things that are inappropriate to this man. And just right away, this man is guilty not only just by association, but because he's a black man. And I take very much so offense to that. I am a black woman. I will never, ever, just because someone is black and they cry wolf, agree with them or approve of their behavior. This woman has time and again showed us who she really is, showed us her true colors. What have we saw from Mr. Kevin or Mr. LaTruth on camera that will make us question their character? Not a dang on thing, but immediately, right away, you guys crucified him. And you crucify this man who's doing a reaction video that you guys asked him to do. That's not cool. And the reason I take offense to it, because I have a black son. My only child is a black son. My father is a black man. My uncles are black men. My cousins, my male cousins, they're black men. Why would I stand up and agree and approve of her behavior and the things she has done to Mr. Kevin when I have a son that one day will be dating? And I will get upset if someone accused him of the false accusations and the claims that she's done. She poked at Mr. LaTruth, allegedly, and she couldn't get him where she wanted him. She couldn't move him the way she wanted to. From her dating on camera, being a full-blown married woman, having a full-blown relationship on camera, and you guys are cheering her on. You guys are okay with that. What did Mr. Kevin do? He didn't go on camera. He didn't throw all that out there. He didn't even dog her. He spoke his truth from his point of view. And what does everyone do? Because these are black men, they are guilty by association. And it's even harder for his family, even more, because they're guilty for knowing their brother. Not only they had to watch their brother suffer in silence, but now they're being victimized as well. You guys stood up, you did a parade, and we wanted justice for George Floyd. We wanted to make sure those people that hurt him were prosecuted to the fullest extent. We stood up outside, we screamed, and we clapped when justice was served. Would make this situation any different because this is a black woman, so we're supposed to automatically believe what she says? This is one of our brothers that could have been our son, that could have been our father. Lying about these accusations back in the day, if this was a white woman, they could have been hitched. Anything could have happened to them. In the middle of the night, just like Emmett Till, something terrible could have happened. When somebody does lies and does these type of things to a black man, try to tear them down and their credibility, I don't approve of that. It's wrong. It's out of line. And they have done nothing wrong. This woman, when she couldn't get Mr. LaTruth to bulge and Mr. Kevin came forward because she recorded. She put recordings out of not only her husband, but other things. Not only she in the car acting crazy, acting erratic, saying things that are inappropriate around her kids, showing us who she really is. Finally, this man who's now have to defend himself up against everyone who once cheered him on, he released a recording. The recording tells us everything we need to know. Mrs. Lyona, allegedly, the victim, who didn't say, I put up with your brother hitting me over and over again. I can't take it, and I still love him and want to be with him. No, she never said any of that. But what do you guys do? You turn around and you say, just because she didn't tell him that doesn't mean he didn't do it. Just because she didn't open up to him about it, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. We've had so many audio recordings, video recordings, time and time again, of this man going out of his way to show us who she is. From a 911 call that could have got him killed. From the recording of Mr. Kevin, for his own privacy and his own protection, recording a phone call. But what does everybody say when he does it? You wrong for that. Why you invading their privacy? Why you speaking on that? This lady has went so far to talk about his brother's manhood. And unlike her, Mr. Kevin is a family person. Has a beautiful family, has beautiful wives. You may not agree with his lifestyle or what he does, but at the end of the day, he advocates for our community and he advocates for the right thing. So regardless of how you feel about him personally, right is right and wrong is wrong. And that lady was wrong on so many levels. The same person who she came to when she needed help before it went overboard and escalated, who she came to their house about to seek therapy, appointments, to talk and discuss their marriage, is the same person when she couldn't poke his brother. She come at him with false accusations. Not only that, she discussed her brother, his manhood, but she turns around and come at Mr. Kevin saying that not only he's gay. The worst things you could do for come at a man, for a man, to lie on them, defame their character. Number one is say abuse. Claim to be a DV victim when you never was. Number two, lie about false accusations. She lied and said Mr. Kevin wanted her. Now all of a sudden you want to come forward and say he's wanted you. But yet you continuously went to therapy sessions with him and his brother. Continuously. You called him private. You trusted enough to call this man private to discuss your marriage, so he could talk to his brother about you two working it out. Because you know on the low, you done lied and things done went too far. You done went too far with these accusations, and you know this man will never look back. It's over now. He's done. You know throughout this whole marriage, you antagonized him. You used sex as a weapon, allegedly. You tormented him behind the scenes, going through his phone, not trusting him because you knew what you were doing. But then you turn around when he pulled a plug to reach out to his brother because you knew Mr. Kevin was an open-minded person. You knew he was a genuine person who said right is right, wrong is wrong, who's called his brother out on numerous occasions in front of you about things that you've spoken about that he did not agree with his brother on. You reached out and you called him. And when that didn't go the way you wanted it to, you said he wanted you. Miss Lyona, you said allegedly he wanted you. Nobody is checking for you. That man's wives are beautiful. He cares about family and values, something you don't know anything about. He cares about what goes out online, something you don't care. That whether or not your 4 kids, 5, 10, 15 years from now, even now, has access to the computer. When you're gone, you're not monitoring what they're watching. They could pull you up and see how you conduct yourself online. Unlike you, Mr. Kevin cares about how he looks. He cares about what his family sees. He cares about what his kids have to go through at school because of the foolishness you put out about him. He cares. He has done all this in his life to this point now to make sure he's been helpful. He served his community. He's a positive person. He gives good advice. And he's never been biased. He's worked his way to where he is now for somebody like you to come along and try to pull him down and defame his character. And the third worst thing you can do on a man is call them gay. That will stick with them forever. There's nothing wrong with being gay. No one is homophobic. If that's who you are, you stand in your truth, that's who you are. No one is judging. But to call a straight man gay. First, he wanted you. He wanted you, right? He's gay, but he allegedly wanted you, came onto you, liked you. He was looking at you, giving you the eye. How do you know that he was looking at you, giving you the eye when you said that every time you were around him or any other men, when you were Mr. LaTruth, you looked down, you didn't look up, or you stayed out of the room, you wasn't around. How do you know this man eyed you? How did you know he was looking at you? But you had to look down every time you was around and you entered the room. Make that make sense, everyone. You can go back on her videotapes, full-blown videotapes where she says this. You can research this stuff on your own. Lyona has put this out and contradicted herself over and over again to make up false accusations on every person in this man's family. She want to throw rocks and hide her hands. She said mean things about his sister. All these people that are part of this, based off of them being his siblings, lives have been jeopardized. People have came at them wrong. They can't go anywhere with people saying harsh and mean things to them. And right away, what do? You get upset for me judging Laiona day in and day out. But guess what? Why are you guys so quick to judge this man and write him off? Is it because he's a black man and he's not a woman? Is it because she's woman and she's black that makes her more credible? Oh, I'm beating down a black woman. I shouldn't be that way. I have a black son, sweetheart. I have a black son, sir. And if a female did what she did to these people, to this man, to his brother, to his sister, to his family, I would drag her down. I would do everything I can to seek justice for these men. A man can easily advocate for themselves day in and day out. Every time they get online, they're going to be guilty of association. They're going to automatically be guilty because they're a man. They're going to believe you right away when you put on the waterworks and crocodile tears, even though you're full-blown married. We haven't saw anything of Mr. LaTruth cheating. We saw videos. We saw him flirting here and there on the beach. We haven't saw anything nowhere near to what Miss Laiona allegedly has shown us. She is butt booty naked, dang on near, you might as well say, on a date with her man boy, her man child, with her breasts hanging out. Everywhere she goes, she's still married. Allegedly, her breasts are hanging out. Or she's somewhere half naked. She is in this man's lap with him gripping her butt cheeks with both hands. But yet, you guys are judging Kevin right away for him speaking out and stating the facts. Like I stated, right is right and wrong is wrong. And at the end of the day, I'm always going to be on whatever side I think is right. He cares what his family thinks and sees. He's built himself in his own right, in his own career based off of his belief, being a good person. And that's who I seen in those videos. Every time I looked at him, I saw a pure, loving, caring man. Devoted family man. Regardless of what anybody thinks about him, I saw pure, genuine person. That credibility has been continuously questioned because of Miss Laiona, who shouldn't have been credible. After the third month, when she kept flip-flopping her story, allegedly, when she got on camera with her boyfriend, kissing him in the mouth, I don't even know where to stop at. Her credibility should have been went out the window when it came to her assassinating this man's family. Or her even accusing Mr. LaTruth allegedly of the accusation she did. He's still guilty to this day. What is she guilty of? You guys have threw this man's name out there and he's everything under the sun and his brother. What is she guilty of? When are you guys going to hold her accountable for anything? This woman has lied and slandered not only her husband, but his family in their name. These people can't go anywhere. They can't do their jobs. This is how he makes his money. She might not care about who she is and her name and the things she's doing, but he does. His family does. They care about what they do. They worked hard to get to where they are from the ground up. They didn't lay on their back, allegedly, like her, and just wake up and they have a career started. They work for what they have. At the end of the day, he didn't bring this to the forefront. She brought this to the forefront. She judged her marriage and put it online. All Mr. Kevin did was react to the videos that you guys asked him to and responded to the accusations that you guys claimed that his brother did. And now he's being judged. His ratings dropped. His views have dropped because people at the end of the day are so blinded from a female that has showed us who she is and how she feels about a marriage. You guys judge this man for having his 2 wives, but this woman had 1 husband, and she couldn't love, honor, obey, and trust for better or worse, sickness or health. She violated all those things. All those things. But yet and still, we're going to say this witness is credible? We believe everything she says? She doesn't believe what she says. This woman says nobody has done anything allegedly so sweet and nice for her. We've saw plenty of nice and sweet things and gestures that her ex-husband or her husband now has done for her to prove his love to her. At the end of the day, I'm not just advocating for the rights of any man. I'm advocating for what's right. I'm speaking on Mr. Kevin. Because guess what? One day, Mr. Kevin's situation could be your son or your grandson or my son. So you guess what? I'm going to speak my truth. And I'm going to continue doing what I feel is right and what I feel is necessary until this situation is brought to the forefront. At the end of the day, the people that need to be exposed will be exposed. And the people that need to be back where they need to be and their name cleared will be cleared. Only God will make sure that and judge these people accordingly. And I am a helper of God, so I will make sure I do my part. I'm not going to sit and turn a blind eye or be quiet because she's a woman and so am I. I'm not that kind of woman. I don't carry and possess that type of Jezebel spirit. I take a marriage seriously. I will take vows seriously. I would never slander my husband, my ex, or anyone or his family online when those are the same people that helped me. Those are the same people that encouraged me. Those are the same people that saved my marriage a few times. I would never accuse his brother of false accusations saying he tried to holler at me when I claimed that I had to look down every time I came in the room. I couldn't make eye contact with him. So how do I know he even looked at me? How do I know he even came on to me? Do I have text message to prove it? I would never do those type of things she has done. At the end of the day, you all have a choice to decide in your heart, what do you feel is right and what do you feel is wrong? But just know this, one day, this could be you on the other end of the situation, trying to protect, trying to help, and trying to understand and be there for your son, your grandson, your brother, your cousin, your uncle. When you know for a fact who they are, you know for a fact their character. And someone is continuing to drag them out. Do what you feel in your heart is best and make the right decisions. Let's clear these people that need to be cleared. Let's make sure the people that need to seek justice get the justice. Whether it's us online advocating for what's right. Whether it's one person spreading the word, we're doing what we feel in our heart is best. We're clearing names out. So the people that need to be exposed will get exposed. I will continue to do this day in and day out till Mr. Kevin's name is cleared and whoever else's name is cleared. Innocent people, like I said, lives are being taken advantage of, dragged down because of this hot mess from allegedly Miss Lyona. This man didn't deserve this, and neither did his family. Make the decision in your heart what's best. Right is right, wrong is wrong. You decide. Don't let God make an example out of your life because you decided the wrong way.